Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll to ascertain the presence of a quorum?
Councilor Baker. Councilor Campbell. Councilor Siomo. Councilor Sabi George. Councilor Flaherty. Councilor Jackson. Councilor LaMattina. Councilor Linehan. Councilor McCarthy. Councilor O'Malley. Councilor Presley. Councilor Wu. And Councilor Zachem. Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask all councilors and guests to please rise. And Madam Clerk, if you would do us the honor of sharing a few words.
Thank you. O God of creation, whom we try again and again to make into our own image, enable us to desire rightly and to be of use in the service of others. Be with this assembly in its work. Grant us the wisdom to create what is essential for the common good. Keep within each of our hearts a love for the cause of human welfare and a dedication to enrich the lives of all people. Guide us in our labor to maintain and strengthen our public lives, and remind us to be good stewards of the gift of life. Amen.
And now we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For all. Justice.
We'll begin today's meeting with approval of the minutes from last meeting. Are there any changes or amendments? Seeing and hearing none, the minutes are approved. And on to communications from His Honor the Mayor.
Docket number 1249, message and order approving a supplemental appropriation of $31,122,743 for the Boston schools for the FY18 to cover cost items contained within the collective bargaining agreement between the Boston School Committee and the Boston Teachers Union, Local 66, AFT-Mass, AFL-CIO. The terms of the contract are September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2018. The major provisions of this contract of the contracts include a base wage increase of 2% in September of 2016 and 3% in September 2017. The FY18 budget request, included a reserve for collective bargaining, a separate appropriation to fund projected collective bargaining increases. A separate order has been filed to reduce the appropriation to support $20 million of the supplemental request. The remaining $11,122,743 will be supported with other general revenues.
Docket number 1249 will be assigned to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Docket number 1250, message in order to reduce the appropriation for the Reserve for Collective Bargaining by $20 million to provide funding for the Boston School Department for the FY18 cost items contained within the collective bargaining agreement between the Boston School Committee and the Boston Teachers Union, Local 66, AFT-Mass, AFL-CIO.
Docket 1250 will also be assigned to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Docket number 1251, message and order authorizing the City of Boston to accept and expend an amount of $15,000 in a form of a grant awarded by the Whole Foods Market for the Mayor's Mural Crew to be administered by the Office of Arts and Culture.
Chair moves for suspension and passage of docket 1251. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Docket 1251 has been passed. Reports of public officers and others.
Docket number 1252. Communication was received from Council President Wu notifying the public that the date and location for the next two meetings of the Boston City Council are being changed to Tuesday, September 19th, 2017, and Thursday, September 28th, 2017, at historic Faneuil Hall located at 1 Faneuil Hall Square, Boston, Mass. 02109.
And again, we had anticipated 3 months of construction on the accessibility renovations. We were hoping that there might be a small chance they would finish early because it had always been on the calendar that Faneuil Hall was booked on this Wednesday of this week as well as next week. But just to give them ample time to finish everything, tie up all the loose ends, we're obviously here today and then again on Thursday next week in Faneuil Hall. Matters recently heard for possible action. Thank you. Docket number 1252 will be placed on file. Now, matters recently heard for possible action.
Docket number 0199. Order for the Committee on Healthy Women, Families, and Communities will host a series of policy briefings related to key topics in early education and childcare.
Would the chairwoman of the committee or would like to say a few words? Chair recognizes Chair of the Committee on Healthy Women, Families, and Communities, Councilor Presley.
Thank you, Madam President. Unfortunately, I had a long-standing schedule conflict that precluded me from chairing this policy briefing focused on transition from early education and care into kindergarten. I want to thank Councilor Sabi George for chairing the fourth in the series of our policy briefings regarding early education and care. And through the chair, I would like to defer to Councilor Sabi George for her report of the briefing.
Thank you, Councilor Presley. Councilor Sabi George, you have the floor.
Presley for allowing us to, not allowing us, but being there in spirit and allowing myself and Councilor Wu to sit for what was a very thoughtful and productive hearing. We heard from Boston Public Schools in particular, the folks that are engaged in Countdown to Kindergarten and our early ed programs, early education programs. We learned, I think, in quite a bit of detail about the connections BPS has with local community-based preschool programs, and we talked quite a bit about the connections between BPS and those outside ed programs and their connections to preparing our students or our youngest students for school. We talked in some detail about an idea Council President Wu had about connecting birth certificates with identifying the youngest in our city and how we can start to prepare them and connect them to their early ed opportunities within BPS, but also within the community. So there'll certainly be more to come as we continue this series, and I look forward to those additional sessions over the course of our term. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Sabi George. Docket number 0199 will remain in the Committee on Healthy Women, Families, and Communities. Motions, orders, and resolutions.
Docket number 1253. Council Zachem offered the following order, suspending Rule 34 of the Rules of the Boston City Council, Municipal Year 2016-2017, to allow the City's Council Special Committee on Civil Rights to hold a hearing on docket number 1061. Order for hearing regarding voter registration in the City of Boston on Thursday, September 28th, 2017, at 6 p.m.
Councilor Zachem, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Obviously, this order comes out of our change in council meeting schedule necessitated by the ongoing renovations of the chamber. We've organized with quite a few organizations, residents, and others to find a space to have this at this time, and I would hope that you and my colleagues will support this change and allow the hearing to occur after our next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Zachem. Where will it take place? Just the opportunity.
I'm at Boston University.
Great. At this time, Councilor Zachem moves for suspension and passage of docket 1253. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Docket 1253 has been passed. Hope to see everyone at Boston University next Thursday, 6 p.m. Personnel orders.
Docket number 1254, Counselor Wu for Counselor Campbell.
Counselor Campbell moves for suspension and passage of docket 1254. All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Docket 1254 has been passed.
Docket number 1255, Counselor Wu for Counselor Zachem.
Counselor Zachem moves for suspension and passage of docket 1255. All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Docket 1255 has been passed. I'm informed that there is one late filed matter in the hands of the clerk just to add to the consent agenda. In the absence of objection, hearing none, the matter is added. Chair moves adoption of the consent agenda. All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. The consent agenda is adopted. Would anyone like to pull a matter from the green sheets? Okay, and we will pause for any statements or announcements to the group. Okay, we may be setting a record in Faneuil Hall today for efficiency of our meeting. Then at this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please rise. Today, the Boston City Council will adjourn our meeting in memory of the following individuals. For Councilor Flaherty, Mary Jane Devine, his cousin. For Councilor Linehan, Mary Jackie Lee. For Councilor Presley, Will Lewis. For Councilor Zachem, Jennifer L. Miola. And for all councilors, Eleonora A. Selman, Carrie Jordan's grandmother. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Chair moves that when the council adjourns today, we do so in memory of the aforementioned individuals. We're scheduled to meet again Thursday, September 28th at 12 noon at Faneuil Hall. All in favor of adjournment say aye. Any opposed say nay. The ayes have it. Council is adjourned.